Oral traditions and storytelling are an integral part of Indigenous cultures around the world. For centuries, Indigenous peoples have relied on these ways of passing knowledge, values, and beliefs from one generation to the next. Unfortunately, these important aspects of Indigenous cultures are increasingly under threat from the changing world around them. In order to protect these vital traditions and stories, it is important to take steps to preserve them for future generations. One of the most effective ways to preserve Indigenous oral traditions and storytelling is to engage in the practice of intergenerational learning. This involves engaging elders from the community in teaching the younger generations about their culture and language through stories and songs. This helps to ensure that the knowledge of the older generations is passed down, and that the younger generations are able to learn from the wisdom of the elders. It is also important to use the latest technology to record these stories, so that they can be preserved and shared with future generations. Another way of preserving Indigenous oral traditions and storytelling is to encourage the use of traditional media, such as radio, television, or film. These mediums can be used to document and broadcast stories, songs, and other forms of cultural expression. This can help to ensure that the stories and songs of the Indigenous peoples are heard and shared with the world, as well as being preserved for future generations. Finally, it is important to create a safe and welcoming space for Indigenous peoples to tell their stories and share their culture. This can be done by providing cultural education and resources, as well as creating spaces for storytelling and cultural events. This helps to ensure that Indigenous peoples are able to express themselves freely and that their stories and knowledge are respected and appreciated. Preserving Indigenous oral traditions and storytelling is essential for protecting the culture and heritage of Indigenous peoples around the world. By engaging in intergenerational learning, using traditional media, and creating welcoming spaces for storytelling, we can help to ensure that these vital aspects of Indigenous cultures are preserved for future generations.